Okay, let's continue the journey to the east. Hopefully without having to drop down and climb up another set of mountains. Because that's just a hassle. I could actually tell by the way that was moving on the map that it was probably a creeper, because there's not really much else that would tend to walk up behind me in daylight like that. How am I doing on food? Okay, I guess I need more than I thought. If my sword was enchanted with fire aspect, I'd probably be killing some of these cows for more steak. Take a look around. And keep heading this way, relatively. Well, that was laggy. You hear the thud of hitting the ground, and a full second later, the damage kicks in. Yeah, I guess heading southeast-ish, probably the easiest course at the moment. There's a big cluster of stuff a ways underground. That could just indicate a cave system, or it might show that there's an underground city down there somewhere. There's a dog. Well, a wolf. Not exactly a dog until you tame it. Except for the altitude being over 120 in a lot of places here, this terrain doesn't feel that much different from a regular forest. It's just a matter of getting up here to start with that makes it problematic. Oh, good. This is the edge of the mountains. That looks like normal forest down there. I wonder if I can dive off and get into that water. Well, not from this far back. I would more likely hit the tree instead. Yeah, go over there. No, this is okay. That was less okay. But yeah, forest line, that's good. What am I carrying on me? Right now I'm just kind of entertaining the possibility of obtaining what I need to build the portal stuff I lack to build a portal and dialer over here. Because if I find, say, a village in the area... There's a spider behind me and I think it's chasing me. If I find a village around here, I can probably trade for the emerald I need. I might find gold in the chest if it has a blacksmith shop. Then it would just be a matter of the frame material, because... No, I am carrying nether brick, so that's not even a problem. More woodland mountains. So we're going to go around that as best we can. Because I've already done that once, and I'm not really interested in doing it again. But yeah, I would like to probably build a portal to go back, because crossing those mountains again is not going to be very fun. I like my varied terrain. I just like to have the option of skipping it for a second trip. Sometimes. It just depends on the terrain. Mountains are interesting to look at from a distance and sometimes interesting to climb and explore. But it's not something I want to do regularly. Now that's cool looking. See, that's my point. That's cool looking from a distance, but if I had to try to get up there again, no. No. Okay, I should be heading more south, it looks like. I probably can't go too far south, though, because at some point I'm going to hit the ocean again. And that's going to put a sad end to the trip. I guess. It would kind of be handy to get out of the forest before nightfall. At least out in a more open environment I can see things like skeletons at a greater distance, creepers. I'm never that concerned about the zombies unless there's, a huge number of them, in which case it can become a little hairy, but the skeletons are probably the worst part, especially with the mods I have installed, where they seem to be able to fire faster and they, have the potion effects, of course. I'm pretty sure I've got better archery enabled again. Or at least it'll be enabled until it causes some game-crashing glitch again. Whatever. Oh, what's this? From the color and the shape, it looks like it might be Extreme Hills, which would be mildly disappointing to me, actually. Yep, Extreme Hills Edge. That's a bit disappointing. On the other hand, it is open, wider terrain. Once I can get up top, I'll have a pretty good field of view. So it is at least what I asked for, I guess. I still think you should be able to kill sheep for food. Cows can drop leather and beef. There's no reason that sheep can't drop wool and some edible meat. Or at least, make a mechanic to farm sheep so that you can breed them, get lambs, and then kill and eat the lambs. Because the way I understand it, at that point, they haven't lived long enough to develop their horrible, stinky flavor that nobody really likes. Can't remember. I think I've eaten lamb once in my life. And as I recall, I wasn't that impressed. I think one of my favorite meats I've eaten, though, is bison. And I haven't even been able to have a whole cut of bison. It's been bison hamburger. And, bison burger is good. It's got a more complicated flavor than the kind of beef you can buy at a grocery store. And it's also very lean, which, I mean, you have to know how to work with that so that it doesn't turn into... Well, I think the best comparison I've heard with, like, really lean kinds of hamburger is that it turns into sawdust. Which, if you don't treat it the right way, I can totally see how that comparison would help, or how that comparison would apply. But what would help it is when you form a hamburger patty out of it, you put a little bit of butter on the inside, so as it cooks, the butter slowly melts and the fats distribute out through the hamburger. keeps it juicy, keeps it from losing its train of thought, much as I have just now. But no, I mean, that's kind of the thing with lean meats. You need some kind of high-fat cooking method to compensate. I've never been a big fan of, like, dark meat chicken, but it's also the kind of chicken that you can cook generally without using a ton of fat. You know, to be able to eat light meat chicken and have it be a pleasant experience, you usually need to deep fry it, or otherwise cook it in some kind of a fat with a breading to kind of hold it on. One thing I do enjoy is, well, okay, it's kind of more complicated than that. I was going to say I enjoy cooking, but it's more that I enjoy being able to cook. I enjoy that I have the ability to prepare interesting foods for myself when I desire to do so. You know, the more complete reality of that is that being able to cook and then being expected to cook is kind of a pain in the ass. It's just like when you learn how to drive, and then suddenly you're expected to use that ability to benefit your family. Which, oh crap. Okay, kill zombie. Okay, almost cleared this. Okay, any other immediate threats? Nope. Cool. Well, that was a surprise, but that didn't turn out terrible. I am amazed. But yeah, it's all those things where you learn a new skill that has the potential to benefit other people, and then you're expected to benefit other people with it. Which is fine. I'm not against helping, you know, when it's... How do I word this to not sound terrible? I'm not against helping when it's reasonable to do so. But a lot of times my definition of reasonable conflicts with other people's definitions of reasonable. So not everyone agrees on exactly, you know, what that should entail. I think I should go that way. I still would like to find a village along my travels here. I mean, I could potentially start mining in this, well, yeah, I could start mining. My extended pick is not in good shape, so I probably wouldn't get super far with it. No, but since I'm in Extreme Hills, I could potentially start mining and find an emerald somewhere, maybe. But I think it'd be more reliable to go poke around a village and try to work out a deal with a villager. The emerald's the biggest hurdle toward making some of the portal stuff. The dialing devices require emeralds and I think ender pearls. But an ender pearl is not a big deal for me to acquire at this point, since I can hunt endermen with relative ease. It's just a matter of, you know, finding the enderman initially. That looks like the flat part of a dunes biome, because I don't see any sign of vegetation in the color on the map. I'll head up there and look around. First I'm going to switch my apples into the active slot. Yeah, dunes. Well, over in the distance you can see a creeper and a zombie having an interesting conversation. The zombie's talking about how great it is in life to, you know, go and eat brains, while the creeper is more just sitting there nodding and thinking about how it could just explode and have this mind-numbing conversation ended. And now they're looking for things to go and Well, apparently the zombie got so bored it ceased to exist. So apparently the creeper is not much of a conversationalist at all. And the creeper has not even noticed that the zombie left, which I'm sure if the zombie still existed would make it very sad. I completely forgot what I was talking about before I decided to start narrating their conversation. So... But anyway, I do like to cook. I've been told that I cook fairly well. In some cases, I cook so well that I am asked to make a repeat performance, but since I never write down or use recipes when I cook, I kind of can't sometimes. There was one time I made this, how to even describe it? It was chicken breast with a cream sauce, and somewhere in there, lemon was involved, like real slices of lemon, not bottled lemon juice. And to be honest, the finished dish made me nauseous. Okay, didn't quite kill that in time. The finished dish kind of made me nauseous, but my parents sure liked it a lot, and they have always wanted me to make it again. But not only do I not remember how, but even if I did, I don't think I'd be super inclined to, because I didn't enjoy it that much either. Okay, that over there looks like it's an oasis in the dunes biome, backed up against a lake in the dunes biome. So that's not anything interesting to go look at. I love this sword. There's a skeleton nearby somewhere. Probably down around this corner. Or not. Okay. Looking for a good way to head down. I think I'm going to jump in the river, actually. Flying leap! Oh crap. Oh good, I made it. I thought I was going to hit the bank. And I got a skeleton shooting at me. Typical. Oh well, I'm going to swim out of its range. Or not. Either that or it's a different one. I think it should be daylight before too much longer. And it looks like the extreme hills have given way to dunes on either side. That kind of sucks. Guess I'm going to follow the path of the river, though. It's possible to get advanced cities in the dunes biome. One of the earliest maps that I played to test the city generator mod, I had the biome sizes turned up gigantically, and I crossed, I believe it was a 10,000 meter wide dunes biome. Actually, it was wider than that because I spawned deep within the dunes biome. But I had to travel 10,000 meters before I found the next biome. And I found a few cities in that time, so interesting things can generate out here, but I don't like to spend a lot of time in dunes biomes because there's not usually a chance to replenish your supplies, especially for food, because nothing grows here and you don't really run into a lot of passive foodable mobs. See, we're still in a riverbed right now, I believe. Yeah, because see, there's a little bit of water that hasn't dried up. It's not that it's dried up, it's the mechanic doesn't work that way, but considering the environment, I like to interpret it as such. Let's see. Dig out here a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna try to keep along the path of the riverbed, since it's at least something to focus on. Oh, this might have just transitioned to normal desert? Desert hills. No, it's close anyway. See, the difference between a dunes biome and a desert biome is whether or not plants will generate within it. A dunes biome has no plant life, where a desert biome has cactus, tumbleweeds, or dead weeds, whatever the dead little sapling-shaped things are called. And, you know, you get sugarcane along the banks sometimes, things like that. The dunes biome doesn't have any of that. It's sand, sandstone, and rock. And that's it. The only exception is when you find an oasis sub-biome within the dunes, like we saw a little while ago on the map. I don't know what's over there, but I guess there's not anything over there, and it's just that the concentration of the hostile indicators is just tighter on the... Okay, I was gonna say, why is there a big square hole in that mountain? The concentration is just higher on the small view map, so it makes it look more like a thing. Okay, that's a mountain. I think I'm going to have to abandon the riverbed, because I think it's about to run out. Let's find out. I'm not going to push too much farther down here anyway, because I'm going to... Yeah, that's not going... What the heck is with that square shape? Alright, going to have to head up. This is where it starts getting dangerous, because I'm in here, I'm not going to have a chance to replenish food. Okay, there's more riverbed on the other side of that mountain. It's just pinched off here. Okay, the game is frozen. The last time it did this like this, it crashed because of... Oh, okay, good. Apparently that was just a massive frame rate drop. Oh, I see another biome. That's good. That's the direction I'm going to head. That looks like it might be... word I can't think of. It's not a savanna. It's the one that's like a cross between a savanna and a badlands. But it's still a place where things can form. There's a swamp over there. Okay, we're at like 24 minutes for this episode, so I'm gonna call this one off here and then go exploring in the local biomes.